Well, hello there, YouTube. Welcome to, was it Thursday? Yeah, Thursday the 4th of March. Got up this morning, it was 30. I thought it was going to be a whole lot colder based on how quick it got cool last night. But it's like, I don't know, 42 or something now. It's warming up quick. Beautiful day. Well, old gal, it's gonna be sad to not see you sitting back there. They need luck. The supply of GSAs may get to a point, might luck out and end up with a 40 years anyway. There's always that little bit of hope. Sparky's out there doing this thing. He's so funny. He's such a good dog. The city of Toledo came through here and swept all these roads, all these corners and stuff that I'm like, ooh, be careful of that one. All the gravel's gone. Thank you, Toledo. Oh yeah, this is my ice corner. This is the one I had to shoot off into that dirt road on my Slim. Remember, the temperature jumped up to 62 degrees and I went through an ice patch in that corner. It just changed so fast that shaded areas hadn't thawed out yet. Speaking of the Slim, going down the highway on this thing after riding the R18 home last night, I'm like, whoa, this thing's revving like a buzzbee, you know? That R18's just like a Harley, like a Milwaukee 8 or any Harley. It just kind of loafs along. All the torque is everywhere, so it doesn't matter what RPMs, you just give it gas. What gear are you in? That don't matter. This thing here is she's a revy. Hey, you don't come in my lane. I was nice enough not to go in yours. Oh yeah, all the gravel's gone out of here too. That boy's been busy clearing this thing out. So, despite how pretty it is out here, at around noon or so, the clouds are supposed to be coming in. And by the time we get off work tonight, it's supposed to be raining, unfortunately. But we are in the Pacific Northwest. Well, GSA, say goodbye to Dr. Pierce's. I'm sure the old barn has loved seeing you go by as much as you've loved going by it. It's weird how sentimental you get. You get so attached to these things. Like I was telling Travis, our GM, yesterday, we were talking about the R18 and stuff. I go, I get attached to these things, you know. It's like this thing I've had almost a year and a half. I said, you know, I feel like I'm like giving away one of my motorcycles, you know. I just get attached to them. You get that bonding time, you know. So good looking. Incredible color. That's one of two. They got one that's kind of white and red as well. It's liking that 42 degrees, man. It's just holding on to it. But luckily, one of the reasons I love the GSA over the GS is these things cut through the wind like no other. I mean, it's not like Goldwing like cut through the wind. By no means, you know. That bike has a single purpose in life. But for an adventure bike, it's incredible. When it rains or rain doesn't hit you, it's crazy. You ride a GS for a while and you jump on a GSA and you go, oh God, thank you BMW for making this motorcycle. Get all the thrills of the GS with way more comfort. The fact you only have to put gas in it. I mean, you worry about the gas going bad by the time you put gas in it again. These things go forever on a tank of gas. Of course, it's got 8 gallons sitting down there, so I had to come on for a second. I got to the top of the rest area hill there, and all of a sudden this wave of heat hit me. It just went from 42 to 48 in like a few hundred feet. Wow, it's weird how a mountain can control temperature from one side to the other. And then to add to it, I come across that hill and I'm out of the trees, so now the sun's hitting me directly too. That's nice. Ooh, look at this. Get down here into Vancouver and it is 55 degrees. Man, I was debating this morning whether to wear my first gear Kathmandu jacket, because that thing is so comfortable and so warm, but it's also large, that comfort and warmth. In the reflection, I think I couldn't tell if it was something wet or something actually laying in the road. Just avoid it anyway. But it rose to 42 degrees so quick this morning. I thought, yeah, I've been bit by this one. I end up halfway to work burning up because I wore too much gear, and now I got to deal with it because I'll be coming back in the truck tonight, so we'll have to deal with the gear. I've said several times that these things, and I get that feeling when I spend too much time on them, that they kind of have no character, no soul, because it's literally the perfect motorcycle. It just never does anything wrong. We're all fallible. These things aren't. They just do nothing wrong, nothing. And I don't know, something in my feeble little mind, I equate that as to something not having character or soul. But even though it doesn't give you any toothing problems or little weak points here or there that it could do better or whatever, it doesn't have any of that. But I was sitting here, I was concentrating for mile after mile. They do have a soul. I feel that soul right now, especially knowing about the turn it back in. It puts that little ache in your heart. I truly, truly, absolutely adore these things. And that's not fair of me to say they have no character or soul, or that they're so perfect they have no character or soul. How many motorcycles can you ride and say this? You talk to anybody that owns these things, they'll tell you the same thing. You got the kind of newbie people that don't know what's going on. They'll, even though they have no experience, they're the first to have an opinion. That's what really cracks me up. But yeah, it's really rare that anybody says anything negative about the GSAs. And even though, I don't prefer the GS, because I end up going down the freeway a lot, and I just like the comfort, the better suspension, and all the protection you get, the forever long gas mileage because of the tank and stuff. The GS there's no one that owns a GS that will ever say anything bad about it. Like they say internally at BMW, these things will change your life, and that is no joke. It's amazing to people, even employees that are kind of sport bike people and stuff, and they go, I'd never be called dead on one of those things. And then they'll take a demo home for the weekend, and literally a different person shows up to work on Monday. They're going, dude, you never told me. I tried to tell you. You had a closed mind. You got to spend some time on one of these things. They will truly change your life. And I'm feeling that feeling right now, knowing that there's not, even though I don't ride it all the time, it's that little thing in your head that it's sitting right there for me to take whenever I want. And the way they handle riding in all kinds of bad weather, because they clean up so easy. You don't have to worry about riding one of these in the rain or snow or muck or whatever. They just clean up so easily. Yeah, knowing it's not going to be there, I was thinking about that last night, after I shut it off. It was a couple 3 hours before we did the goodbye. I just stood there looking at this thing sitting there. I love that R18, but this thing, this has its place. You know, I have basically an R18 made by somebody else, but not to take anything away from that R18, that thing is just epically cool. And BMW being so bold to put them massive jugs on that thing is absolutely epic. Kudos to BMW. That is one of the coolest things ever. Whether it's your thing or not, that doesn't matter. Everybody's got an opinion. To me, that thing's epically cool, but it doesn't replace a GS or GSA, and for me, hands down, a GSA. You do any highway riding, you ride the two, there's only one choice. Unless you're, you know, stretching yourself out to buy one. They are like a couple grand more or something like that, but all the stuff that comes on a GSA compared to a GS, you could touch that for a couple grand. You're gonna pay so, and some of them, like the bodyguards and stuff, not even available, just not an option. Now you gotta buy one of those aftermarket things that look like an erector set. The OEM stuff just fits so perfect. It's great when you do a service, everything comes off like it's supposed to, because BMW built it, you know. You guys know how I am with OEM stuff. There is no aftermarket equivalent. Anyway, sadly, we're moments away. Look at me, I have Shift Assist Pro and I'm waiting to grab the clutch so I can make my shift. Yeah. Scott, if you come and get this thing, I want all kinds of reports. Let me know how this gal's doing. This one, oddly enough, touched my soul, even though the 2019 was all but the identical motorcycle. This one grabbed me. I think maybe it's the extra time that I had it or something. I didn't even take a trip on it. This one didn't go on the trip. Everybody thinks this one went on that trip. No, that was a 2019 model. Oh, gravel right there. They attempted to sweep it, but this ought to be interesting. Don't run into me back there, Dodge. I think there's a forklift in my way. Can I get around it? Yeah, well, yeah, he's doing some garbage cleaning. Alright, that's it for you, young gal. Loved you lots. Almost breaks my dang heart. I had to come out here and give you a quick shot of Mount Hood back there. Look at her sneaking through an open spot in the clouds back there. Heck yeah. And then the sun goes away and the rain returns. Yes, look at the difference in light. I know it can make. That's crazy. The nice thing is Sunday the 14th, we spring forward an hour. There we go. Yeah, it'll be daylight. When we get home, that'll be wonderful. And it will. Daylight by almost an hour. I'm tired of it being dark. Yeah, that's one thing. Those super, super long days in the summer equal some crazy short days in the winter. You got to pay for it at some point. There's all a little give and take going on. Yep. All right, let's head on to the hacienda. Sounds good. All righty. Well, hello there, YouTube. Sadly, that's all that's left of my GSA. The little keychain, little piston thing there, my little bell. That was sad turning that thing in. Yeah. And if that wasn't bad enough, because it seems, like I was telling Kelly on the way home, it seems like I've had that thing for 2.5 years. Because the 19 was the same as the 20. And, you know, I drove the 19 in and drove out with the 20. And it just seems like it's been one continuous thing. It feels like that's what I took on the Washington trip and all that stuff. Well, that bike, that 20 never went on a trip. COVID happened.
Yeah.
So, and then, nice, Ken and Joyce, they don't mind me using the name, that ended up with the chalk white 2020 Demo RT Limited. He comes walking through the door, and I didn't know he was on a bike. He had taken all his gear off outside, and the Garmin GPS that we put on there, it's not getting power. So, but anyway, we're talking about it a little bit, and then I go, well, let's check our fuse here and make sure it's not something simple. You know, there's an accessory fuse that's where the power's coming from, and then there's a fuse for the harness going up to the mount, you know, on the handlebar. And I walk and I see that thing sitting outside the door, and I just had this sinking, like, holy crap, that's my Demo. Seeing that bike, it's really weird. It could be any other chalk white, and I guarantee you I wouldn't know. I don't know how that is. You guys explain that to me. It's like how, you know, parents of twins and triplets and so on can tell them apart. I know immediately when it's one of my old Demos. It's the craziest thing. I do it with the GSAs and everything else. You're just like, that's my old bike. But anyway, the sadness of bringing the GSA and then seeing the chalk white. I was telling you, know, I go through the shop multiple times a day, and still it shocks me when I walk in there and I see a green Spyder sitting there instead of that chalk white one sitting there. But it's all good. Went to a very happy, loving home, so that's really good. I hope the same happens with the GSA. I think they were talking today, but I don't know any details. So, but anyway, that's that for that. Anyway, try to save some of the ride footage in. We're going to make the goodbye kind of quick.
Alrighty, and Scott, it was very, very nice to meet you today.
Yeah.
That was so
Scott
cool.
from Missouri.
So sweet.
DJ from Arizona.
Yeah.
You guys from a long ways away, and this, well, probably where you're at, maybe the weather's a lot better, but here, this is not riding season at all.
No.
And DJ showed up on his 48 Special. He rode that thing up from Arizona. I think he's going to hang out for a bit. He's going to come in Tuesday. He's going to test ride a Chieftain. He says, I want a comfortable bagger. That'll get that job done.
Alrighty. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same smoke time, same smoke channel. Don't forget to give her a thumbs up. And you guys have an amazing Friday or Saturday.
Heck yeah. And again, DJ and Scott, it was awesome hanging out and shooting the bull. Scott even came down, took a look, and picture at the old GSA.
I know.
All right.
Y'all take care.
Yep, we'll see you tomorrow morning. Tomorrow's Friday.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
We will see you in the morning.
All right. Thanks for watching now.
You guys take care.
Bye-bye.